What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jorvik, and today I thought it would be really fun to go through filmmaking memes. Now, if you don't know, I am a filmmaker. I used to work in the industry. I did mostly like student films, and I did some independent work as well. I have been on one Hollywood film set, but I was an extra, and that film was American Underdog with Zachary Levi. So that was pretty cool. And then I also have been just kind of like around other people who've been on sets. I have a lot of friends who are actors and stuff like that. So in the last couple of videos, I talked about how I wanted to dive down the acting, like TikTok lane of people who do like those acting skits, because I think that's pretty interesting and be an interesting case study. But I also thought it'd be fun to kind of go through some filmmaking memes and some just kind of like jokes about the industry and kind of elaborate on them if you don't know. And so this first one is called Every Student Film Set. So we're going to kind of go through this and see if it in fact is true. Okay, so let's go with this.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming. I'm going to be the director. Today we're going to be filming a dramatic short film about teenagers who have special powers and they live in a dystopian society. As you can see, I have asked all of the actors to show up at the same time, even though we're not going to be filming for another 4 hours or so. So I have brought no snacks and no refreshments for you guys, but that's okay because the owner of the house said that we're not supposed to use this bathroom. Okay, I'm going to set up the camera while you guys stand around and talk for 2 to 3 hours. Just giving you guys a heads up, I just rented this camera from the university and I am very unfamiliar with how to use it. Now, I didn't bring...
Okay, yeah, already, okay, a lot to talk about already. So yeah, so it is a thing, like when you are working on a student film, and other film students might know this, so they'll probably can relate to this. There's not really a budget. It's either extremely low, less than $1,000, or no budget at all. So a lot of people are working for free. It's kind of where a lot of people get their start in the industry, is doing these smaller scale short films. The thing about it being a drama about teenagers getting like superpowers or whatever is really funny. There's always it's why it's on this video. It is a meme that a lot of student films are like these dark and like thought-provoking pieces, when in reality they're not. I know some of my first films aren't very good. I would love to redo them, with added knowledge that I have now. But it is pretty interesting to kind of see it here. Back here where he's talking about the actors. Let's see, let's go back.
Powers and they live in a dystopian society. As you can see, I have asked all of the actors to show up at the same time, even though we're not going to be filming for another 4 hours or so.
Yeah, so that happens a lot on smaller projects, is when you cast for a project, generally a lot of people have this kind of thing where like the actors show up, you just shoot, and then you go on your way. I've been on more professional sets where actors and extras have come like 8 hours before they're supposed to be there, before we're filming like those scenes or whatever. So it is a big no-no. So when you are obviously in a more professional setting, you're going to be scheduling those actors to come with call sheets. And so that way they can come about 30 minutes before their call time and be caught up on whatever they need to do and prep for the scene. Depending on if there's makeup and costume involved, they might be there a couple hours earlier. But for a student film, it's really funny just to everyone be there at 8 a.m. We'll film at noon, that type of thing.
I have brought no snacks and no refreshments for you guys, but that's okay because the owner of the house said that we're not supposed to use this bathroom. Okay.
Yeah, that's another thing. So when it seems like most places, in my experience, the directors are like, well, this is my aunt's house. She said we can film here, but can't touch anything, don't move anything, and no one sit down anywhere. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I'm going to set up the camera while you guys stand around and talk for 2 to 3 hours. Just giving you guys a heads up, I just rented this camera from the university and I am very unfamiliar with how to use it. Now, I didn't...
So that's another thing too. I have been on a when I worked on film set, I was primarily a cinematographer or director. So for cinematography, you know, I've worked with a lot of different cameras. Canon, like the one he has here, I can't tell what Canon that is. It looks like a Canon R. But I've shot on Canons, I've shot on Blackmagics, Lumix, or Panasonic. The only camera, and I shot on Reds as well. And the only cameras I haven't shot on are Aries, which are what they shoot Hollywood films and other independent films on. But yeah, no, it's really important that the director, as a student film, the director is mostly, you wear a lot of caps. So for me, when I first started, I was director, I was cameraman, I was sometimes sound guy, you know, but it's nice to have other people, other film students as well, carry on that burden.
Bring any proper lighting equipment, so, you know, I'm just gonna set the ISO right to 8,000. You know, I could probably just get away with using the camera's internal microphone. Just another heads up, I'm only working with a 4 gigabyte memory.
Okay, again, I know this is a joke, but it just goes to show you, like, how much goes into even making a short film. So the joke about lighting is very important. As you see, I have, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4 lights on. I think it's a little overkill, but it all depends on what you're shooting, right? Certain scenes might require no lights at all. Maybe you're using natural light if you're like shooting outside, or maybe using light from a window. But even then, you kind of want to diffuse it. If you're doing a night scene, you want to have more warm tones, or more of a daylight tone, which is more of the white looking. Right here, I have tungsten, which is that brownish color, and then here I have a daylight light, so it's kind of like there. And then this light right here is also a tungsten light, and then of course I have the purple light back there. Sound is very important. Obviously, I'm not using camera audio. I'm using an external, you can't see it, but I'm using an external, let's see if I can lift it up here, microphone. And that's how I can have pretty good audio recording.
So we're gonna have to take a break every 20 minutes while I very slowly empty all of the files onto my 2014 MacBook Air. Now, I know that the set is looking...
That's another thing too. Storage is important. This camera I'm using a 256 gigabyte, which is plenty for what I use it for. For my Blackmagic camera that I used, in the kit I had 2 1 terabyte hard drives that I would put all my footage on. They were the SSD. If you have a Blackmagic, you know what I'm talking about. They were SSD cards. I had 2 of those, and what was nice about those drives is that I can plug that straight into the computer and edit straight from that drive, because it's basically just an external hard drive. I didn't have to use a SD card like I do with this camera.
Looking a little bare. That's okay, I'll just add a bunch of plants and furniture and stuff in post. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, there are going to be a lot of very glaring, unfixable problems with today's shoot, all of which I will address by simply saying, we'll just fix it in post.
Yeah, fix it in post is every film set that I've been on, and if you are a filmmaker or you work in the industry, you know that it's like a running joke that you say, I'll fix it in post. Which you will not fix it in post. It's just a running gag that goes on at every film set, it seems.
Even though I have no idea how to fix anything in post. It's still kind of dark. Hey, does anybody have a flashlight on their phone? Oh, getting a phone call. Yep. No, I understand. All right, thanks, Bryce. Okay, so the guy who's playing the main character just called me and said he won't be making it today. We could just fix that in post. Now, I sent over this...
This might not seem funny to you. It's funny to me. Many of times have I been on set where either the lead actor or one of the actors is like, hey, I can't make it today. We're like, well, thanks for letting us know right before your call time. That's pretty great. That's pretty funny. I love that.
The script last night. I expect you to be fully memorized. Now, I'm gonna need one theater student to take this project way too seriously and assume that it is their big break. Okay, guys, after about...
I've been that too. I'm sorry I keep pausing. This is only a 2-minute video, and I stretched it out to 10 minutes. It's incredible. Yeah, so you're gonna have people on there. A lot of actors come from theater, especially students actors. They come from school theater. And yeah, I've been on a few sets where a lot of those people think that this little short film that they're making when they're 19 years old is going to change their life in some way. And some do. I have met some friends who, from some of the stuff that I've done with people, they've gotten other gigs with those scenes that they've done. So that's pretty cool to know. So it does happen. It's not like it's rare, but it is pretty funny to see how seriously sometimes these people make it.
7 hours of prep. I think we're ready for the first shot. Okay, camera rolling and action. Okay guys, let's take a tight 45 while we let these batteries charge up.
Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. That's really funny. Yeah, that always seems to happen unless you just have incredible planning, which you should if you are doing a film of any length, really. It should take you a couple hours at most to set up, depending on the shots, depending on the scene. So that is pretty funny. That is pretty funny. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you kind of like this little insight of filmmaking. I want to do more of these, so if you're interested on any aspects of filmmaking and how like TV shows and other stuff or even acting things work, let me know. I have a lot of acting friends as well who have actually been in things. Maybe I can get them on and we can talk. But like I said, guys, my name is Jorvik. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.